Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're digging into one single artifact, seriously, just one, that was pulled from the mud on Oak Island. And get this, it's so old, it doesn't just change the game for the treasure hunt, it might just rewrite North American history as we know it.
So, what's going on? Well, the team is back in that infamous swamp on the island. You know the one. They're tracing this ancient cobblestone path, and they're really hoping it finally leads them somewhere. Somewhere other than another frustrating dead end.
All right, so they're zeroing in on the northern section of the swamp. They're following this trail, this path of survey stakes that actually led them to a mysterious stone vault before. The only problem? Yeah, it was totally empty. A huge letdown. But they haven't given up. They're convinced that path has to connect to other hidden structures. And this time, look, they're not just hoping to find another empty room. They need something real, something tangible to prove they're on the right track. And you know what? Almost as soon as they start digging, the swamp starts giving up its secrets. And the first few clues, they're small, yeah, but they are really unusual. First up, team member Rick Lagina spots it, a piece of what looks like incredibly old leather. And here's the crucial part. It has these little holes in it, but they're not for modern stitching. No, they're for hobnails, the metal studs they used on old school work boots.
And the team's reaction is just instant. You can see it on their faces. They know right away this isn't some modern piece of junk. This thing feels ancient. It's like a whisper from the past, telling them there's a much older story buried right under their feet.
So, of course, this immediately brings up a huge question, right? If this scrap of leather belonged to one of the original workers who built whatever's down there, well, it could be the key to figuring out exactly who was on Oak Island, and more importantly, when. Then, not long after that, they hit wood. And we're not talking about some random tree root. These are heavy, thick planks, way too substantial for any kind of modern construction. Whatever this was, it was built to last. In Rick's mind, you can just see the wheels turning. It immediately goes to the one thing they're all looking for. He looks at this wide, sturdy board and speculates, hey, this isn't just from a wall or a floor. This could be the side of an actual treasure chest. And then they find a nail still stuck in the wood, which only deepens the mystery. But it's a square nail. Now, if you know anything about old construction, you know that square nails are a classic sign of pre-modern work. So this is pushing their timeline way back. Okay, so things are already exciting, and then the metal detector just screams. It's signaling a deep, heavy target. And when they pull it out of the mud, what they've got is this dense, very uniquely shaped piece of forged iron. You look at this thing with its kind of spade-like end and its really distinct shape, and the team starts wondering out loud, did we just find a key? And man, if it is a key, what incredible secret does it unlock? Think about it. Finding a key just completely changes the game. You don't go to the trouble of forging a heavy iron lock and key unless you have something incredibly valuable to protect. This one object just elevates the whole search to a new level. So, with these three amazing artifacts in hand, the leather, the wood, and this thing that really looks like a key, the team knows what they have to do next. It's time to take these clues out of the mud and get them under a microscope at their on-island lab. And right away, all eyes are on that piece of leather. Why? Because it's organic material, which means it can be carbon-14 dated. And that could give them a precise age, a real solid anchor point in history. And honestly, what the lab finds is, well, it's nothing short of a bombshell for the entire Oak Island story. These results are about to change literally everything they thought they knew. So the analyst comes in with the report, but before she even gives them the numbers, she prefaces it. She says, you guys, the results are super early, far older than anyone was expecting. She's basically telling them to brace themselves. And then, there it is. The results show, with a 95% probability, that the leather dates to a 68-year window between 1148 and 1216 AD. I mean, just let that sink in. This isn't just before the first treasure hunters. This is squarely in the medieval period, the high Middle Ages. You just hear Marty Lagina say, holy smokes. And that one reaction just captures the sheer weight of this discovery. In an instant, this one little artifact has rocketed their timeline back hundreds of years, landing them right in the era of, you guessed it, the Knights Templar. And here's where it gets really wild. That medieval date, It aligns almost perfectly with a major theory about another huge mystery on the island, Nolan's Cross. You know, that massive cross-shaped formation of boulders that some experts have long believed was a Templar creation? And this, right here, is the critical connection. The date from that piece of leather provides the first piece of hard physical evidence that directly supports the academic theory of a 13th century Templar presence. For the very first time, this huge, almost mythical theory has a real, tangible artifact to back it up.
So, what do you do with information this big? Well, for the Oak Island team, a discovery this groundbreaking doesn't mean the search is over. Far from it. This is a massive validation of everything they've been doing. It's the reason to dig even deeper. Marty says it best. A treasure's never gonna find itself. Let's dig. This incredible new data, it doesn't end the quest. It pours gasoline on the fire. It gives them a renewed, historically focused reason to keep searching that swamp. But now they have a specific time period to hunt in. Look, this one little piece of leather proves that the Oak Island story starts centuries earlier than anyone could have ever confirmed. It transforms this from a treasure hunt into a genuine medieval mystery. So, with medieval history now a confirmed fact on the island, the question is no longer if they'll find something else, but what else from that lost world is still down there, just waiting to be discovered.